Hello there. I am the Shinigami,
And I'm the Quincy.
and today we will be reviewing Bleach Chapter 536.
Everything but the tits. I mean, everything but the rain. Op 9.
Yes, Op 9. And I do believe this is the final op. Of course, they'll still do flashbacks.
No,
Huh?
I believe there will be another op after this.
I
Oh,
think
just
they'll
with a
change the
different
name.
title.
Yeah, I think they'll change the name. But there are four key points to this op. There is Ryukin saves Misaki from the Hollow.
Ishin.
Ishin, my god, I see it's too early. Ishin saves Misaki from the Hollow. And then Ryukin and Katagiri have a moment. Then we see Ishin and Misaki as their time together progresses and what happens with them. And finally, the ending, which we'll get to later. But we'll start with Ishin and Misaki. Ishin saves Misaki. Should I let you go first, Quincy?
Nah, I think I should let you go first.
Okay. Well, we see Ishin, and he um, takes care of the Hollow, basically. He's joking about how it doesn't have a body, and Ishin does have a body, which only Ishin would point out since it's such a huge, obvious head. And he attacks it and breaks it in half, and saves her. He says gets a Gotensho. So, but and then Misaki comes into play, and she's still naked, and Ishin is just talking to her, and then she jumps up into view, and bam, there are her boobs. I've been fanboying for like the past 2 days, which you will see from my Twitter if you follow me on Twitter. And I have been severely calming my voice down to talk about it today. But yes, her amazing breasts are in this chapter, and we even get a bit of nip. So I pretty much had a nosebleed and went comatose for a little bit, but I'm back to do the review today. That's why we couldn't do it the first day. I was comatose from lack of blood. So, yes, her awesome breasts are there. And I'm still talking about it, I realized. Which, those breasts just made the chapter. I mean, that chapter just went skyrocket. But yes, there were some funny moments in there. So, before I drag on, what did you think, Quincy?
Um, well, I was just about to cut in because on Twitter, people are telling me to not get you to drag on about Masaki's breasts. So it's good that you stopped yourself.
With severe self-control, or extreme
If only
self-control.
you, well, if only you can stop yourself from your under the cover sheets stuff.
Ah, yes.
But I thought this part was really, really gutsy for Kubo to draw.
Yeah, it was.
I wasn't expecting that Kubo had the guts to draw half naked Misaki
Yeah,
or full upper body naked Misaki with a little nip.
yeah.
That caught me off guard. Um, Not really a fanboy of Misaki, so
How
I
could you?
didn't use the.
How could you not be after this chapter?
Have you seen my list of the people I fanboy over?
I have.
You can see the pattern. I mean, they're all dark haired, badass chicks.
And you see my
Um,
list, and it's all over the place.
yeah, we're getting off track here, but we're gonna go back now. Come back. All right. I have a reason why Ishin is fully dressed and Masaki's not.
Hmm.
Um, since it's Masaki's soul, because she's a Quincy, she hasn't. It's gonna sound really dumb, but she hasn't had the chance to get spirit clothes like the Shinigami do. Like
Yeah.
their outfit is all reishi based, so
Yeah.
spirit clothing. That's the only reason why I see Masaki being naked and Ishin being clothed. But yeah, overall, it was good, really gutsy. Uh, Pretty sure a lot of people out there have nosebleeds. It was all over Twitter. I kind of got a little sick of it. Shinigami got me a little sick of it. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say to that.
I have something to add though, since you pointed something out. But yes, Kuba has never gone this far before, even with Tier Harabel and Nelio Tuoder Shawonk, whatever you call her last name. Even with them, he only did half a breast, like on the underbreast, below the nipple, and then there's so much breast left. And with Rangiku and Orihime, which was like super fanboy, everything wanted thing. Even then, he only did a behind shot and covered most of Rangiku. But this was just. And I hope to see more of this from Ted Kubo. And I think he's getting a bit more risque. Now that this has passed, he'll start adding much more, I think. We've seen Rukia's peaches, we've seen Masaki's lovely, lovely bosom. The only two people left are in my opinion, there's three people left. Rangiku, Orihime, and Ikumi Unagiya. If he can somehow figure out how to get her naked, that'd be great. But anyway, let's get back on track. Okay.
One thing to add. One thing to add. If Kubo were to draw Rangiku naked, that would take up literally 3 pages.
That would.
Just saying.
No, you know what he'd do? He'd do the cover of Bleach with Rangiku naked.
You know how many issues that would sell?
Oh my god. Bleach would be #1 in Japan in an instant.
The anime would come back.
Yeah, that day. TV Tokyo called them, "We want you back. We realize the mistake we made."
Alright, I'm going to cut us off there, and I'm going to get on with the next key point.
Okay.
Or we're just going to be talking about this forever.
Alright.
The next key point will be where you can walk in the rain and sees Katagiri. Kubo, you sly bastard. You said there wasn't going to be any romance in Bleach. None. But yet you've given us Genron, a little bit of Ishin Misaki, and now you've given us Ryukat. You little bastard. Hurting my feels. Like, seriously. Ryukin looks all depressed. He's like Ichigo depressed right now. And that's bad. He's walking in the rain with no umbrella, sees Katagiri, pretty much tells Katagiri to return to the banner to tell his mom that he's not fit to lead Quincy. So to me, that means either Ryukin's really high up in the Ronarike rankings at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe like a step down from Juha. We've said this earlier in our review. Or pretty much close to being the leader. Again, because we don't know the extent of his power. But then they get into a little argument. Katagiri then states that ever since the day she first met Ryukin, she made a vow to always protect him. And the face that he was making broke her heart. And guys, to be honest, here's the part where I fanboyed, but I won't get all in deep into it. Katagiri started crying, and literally, guys, I tried to wipe a tear away with my thumb. That's how sad it made me feel. But I was fanboying because personally, I like Katagiri more than Masaki. dark haired, badass chicks. Yeah. Anyways, I really did enjoy this part. We got romance. And this also did remind me of the scene back in the Fullbring arc with Orihime and Ichigo when Orihime was under Tsukuma's Fullbring power. I don't remember how that went, but Katsuki and Ryukin, that kind of reminded me of that scene. So yeah, I'm done there.
Okay. I think the scene you were thinking of was whenever Ichigo started crying from losing his powers and Orihime was running back, and she said she didn't know why, but she hated to see Kurosaki-kun cry.
That's it.
And you have to say Kurosaki-kun because she knows she doesn't say anything else. But, okay, I'll move on to Ryukin and Katagiri. To be honest, I really like this part. I'm glad that Taikuba had this in there. I mean, obviously, I'm the Masaki fanboy and you're the Katagiri fanboy. But I still liked how he added this in there. And it really showed their feelings. And if anybody thinks that Katagiri isn't Uryu's mom anymore, and they still don't think it, they need to go and read that chapter until they're convinced that she's Uryu's mom. But yeah, I really like this part, and I'm glad they put it in there. And very much appreciated. So, that's all I have to say about that part, though. Next part will probably be Isshin and Masaki are, just getting their life together. They're becoming a family. So, I guess I'll start. I like how Kuba added this part, and he did the same thing that whenever Ichigo was describing. Because Isshin was describing that Masaki was like the sun, and that he rotated around Masaki. And he just liked rotating around Masaki, being part of her being the sun. And if you go way back to, I don't know what chapter it was, but Ichigo talks about, whenever he talked about his mom, whenever him and his dad were at her grave, way back in the beginning of the manga, he was talking about his mom and he said she was like the sun and everybody couldn't help revolving around her. So that's Kubo basically saying the same thing that Ichigo was saying. But still, it really did mean something that they both thought of her as the center of their world. And it kind of gets your feels a little bit to think that, they lost their son in a way. And maybe that's why Ichigo's developed this. Well, it's obvious why Ichigo developed his hardened personality. Because we saw that he was always smiling and crying. And now he's become hardened because he lost his mother. And then now maybe it's possible that he killed his mother because of the hollow inside of him. It's just hard to figure out, but still. Yeah. But, I mean, a main character who's smiling and crying all the time, that's Luffy. But it just doesn't work for Ichigo. But, yeah. I really like that he added this part. What do you think, Quincy?
I'm gonna have to go with you on this. I really did enjoy this part.
Yeah.
I liked how it was like a time skip within a flashback.
Yeah.
It showed Misaki being a university student and she had left the Ishida Manor. Ryukin, it gave a little backstory on Ryukin, saying that Isshin believes that Ryukin thought this was best for him to impart his feelings for Misaki. It showed why Isshin started the clinic, and that he had Uruhara's help with the clinic. And of course, Misaki whipping Isshin, Isshin being whipped, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
who wouldn't be whipped with those boobs?
That's true. But I'm a little mad.
Okay.
Because I honestly felt there would have been something with Ichigo's birth,
Yeah.
but there wasn't. That's I find it hard to believe that there was nothing involved with Ichigo's birth. So
Yeah.
I was really, really upset to not have that part in there. But everything else was great. I liked it. He sped things along, but in a way
At a good
to
pace.
not move the chapter.
Yeah.
So it was good. I liked it.
Yeah. I just had some to add. Yeah. I was a bit upset that he skipped the birth thing too, but apparently nothing happened. Just the way Ishin said, well, you know what happened, you were born. And it's like, okay. And then, that's what happened. It's like, oh, okay. But maybe
But
Taikuba has something in store for us later, I don't know.
here's what that made me even more mad. He said, "You know what happened when you were born," and then he skipped over to when he met Rukia, and so I was like, "Oh, okay." Ichigo may have known what happened when he was born, but we don't know.
That's true. I was just thinking that. I thought that's a weird way to say it. You knew what happened when you were born. It's like, not most babies know what happened, so maybe he knows something.
I didn't know Ichigo was so smart when he was born.
Yeah. He has amazing memory. White light. But maybe that's something Ichigo will reveal to us later.
Maybe with a confrontation with Uryu or something.
Yeah, maybe Udi will be like, "You've always been spoiled since you were born," and Ichigo's like, "Fuck that. No, this is what happened for y'all, for reals." Oh, do you have anything to add to that part?
Nah.
No. Then there's the final part of Ishin saying, "But Masaki's death," and I don't think there's much to review about this part, but I think it's more foreshadowing. I mean, not foreshadowing, but predicting what's gonna happen. So I've seen a bunch of theories on Twitter and thought of some of my own and stuff, and some that really stood out to me were Ichigo killing his mother, like a hollow getting out inside of him and attacking his mom. But he's never shown. Whenever Ichigo's in his hollow form, he's never shown memory loss. Like Naruto showed memory loss whenever he went into that the Kyuubi's cloak. Ichigo's never shown memory loss in that. And if he killed his mother whenever he was a kid, you think he would have remembered that. But I mean, maybe since it was his first time, that sounds funny. Since it was first time, maybe he did forget, or maybe he sort of blacked out whenever it happened. That's gonna be creepy. Little Ichigo little Ichigo Hollow. But still, yeah, maybe that happened. Or to be honest, I'm completely lost with who could have killed Misaki. I mean, I'm guessing the Grand Way Fisher had a part in it, but because Ishin and Udohara are talking about it later, but I don't know. If Ishin's going around saying, "But you really don't know what happened," then it's like, okay, I don't know. I just don't know anymore. So, what'd you think, Quincy?
Um, I liked it, and it got me thinking whenever I read that panel. Um, it was raining the day Masaki died.
Yeah,
We just had a huge flashback segment of chapters about the rain.
yeah,
So the theory of the Hollow coming out of Ichigo and killing Saki is more plausible.
yeah,
Maybe with the Grand Fisher there, with the Grand Fisher's hollow spiritual pressure, it was enough to wake up Ichigo's inner hollow, and maybe the the Hollow escaping caused Ichigo to become unconscious. Because if you go back to, I forgot which chapter it was, but it was a chapter Misaki, where Ichigo had a flashback of Misaki dying. Ichigo had waken up and found that Misaki was on top of him.
Mm-hmm.
And I have said this earlier, but it seems like there's a slash wound on her back instead of it being a stab wound like how we've seen the Grand Fisher fight.
Yeah.
And we already know if Misaki would have lost her powers, some between everything but the rain and that scene, you don't need your Quincy powers to fight a Hollow. Uryu has proven that you don't need your Quincy powers to fight a Hollow.
Yeah.
Especially one on the level of Grand Fisher. So Grand Fisher did not kill Misaki. Whoever thinks that should honestly reread Bleach and then Everything But the Rain,
Yeah.
1 through 9.
Yeah. I don't think.
Because Misaki has been a Vassal Lord already.
Yeah.
So there's no way Grand Fisher can kill Misaki, even if Misaki lost her powers. So that's just why I think the Hollow inside Ichigo came out. Ichigo got knocked out and then killed Misaki, and then scared the Grand Fisher away, or told the Grand Fisher to if you don't take all the credit for this, I'll hunt you down and kill you myself.
Yeah.
So what I believe after Ichigo finds out what had happened, if the Hollow theory is true, Ichigo is going to have to pay a visit to Shirosaki.
Yeah.
But I know I'm dragging on about this, but if Shirosaki is supposed to be Kaien in a way, why isn't it raining in this inner world?
Well, his inner world was raining whenever he had troubled thoughts and stuff. So
That is true.
yeah. That's why his place was completely underwater over the past 17 months. Or, I mean, before he fought Aizen. Ichigo, you're drowning me. Man up. But, yeah. Do you have anything else to add?
That will be all.
Okay. Did I review that? Yeah, I reviewed that part here. Well, I do believe it is time for something.
It's time for the things you've been doing for the past 2 days.
It's time for the basic fact.
We ran out of lotion because Shinigami used it all.
I can't say I used it all. I'm sure somebody who found certain Ryukin X Katagiri pictures may have used
Hey,
some.
hey, none of that.
But anyway. So, what did you think of this chapter for badassness?
Wasn't really badass.
No.
About a 4.
I'd give it about a 3 or 4 for just the beginning part, where he cuts the hole open. Although Tight Kubo might get some badass points for, going so far in this chapter. But attention level. How much attention were you paying?
I was about at a 7.
7.
That entire chapter.
I was
7.
I was about a 7 in the beginning, and then I became a 10 for Misaki's part. And then,
What's a false?
huh?
A false.
Of course. And then, as I realized he wasn't going to do another one of those, I sort of dropped down to about an 8. And I saw Ichigo again, and it went up to a 10. But then Ichigo didn't say anything. Satisfactory? How satisfied were you with this chapter?
Oh, this a 4. I mean, we didn't find out anything of Ichigo's birth. I mean, a few panels would have been nice,
Yeah.
Just like a panel of people who were there, and then we could have saw Aizen there, and everything would have made more sense.
Yeah. Uh, I'm just gonna go with overall satisfaction with this chapter. I'd have to say, um, I'd have to say a 7 or an 8. I really liked how this chapter went with Katagiri, Misaki, and Ishin's quoting and stuff, and seeing Ichigo again. But yeah, interest level,
Well, we just came off a Golden Week.
yeah,
My interest level of this chapter was extremely high, so a 8+.
yeah. I'd have to say the same for me, about 8.5 or 9. I changed the C to comedy, so
Comedy.
yeah, yeah. Like how funny was it? How funny was the chapter?
Well, it was pretty serious. Um, from Ishin, Misaki, Ryukin, and Katsugiri,
Yeah,
and then the ending part. So that comedy level for those 3 parts, about a 2, but the comedy level of Ishin being whipped, a 9. I was laughing.
yeah. I There was one part in the beginning where I really did laugh, and it was the naked Misaki scene because Ishin's like, um, what did Ishin say? Ishin said a woman who's naked shouldn't be acting like that or something, and Misaki's like, "Tell me your name." she she gave no fuck. She's like, "I'm naked. I don't care." And then Ishin leaves her body or whatever. Urahara pulls him back, and Misaki's just sitting there like, "You saw me naked." And Ishin's like, "A woman shouldn't be acting that way." And he's like rubbing his knuckles into her head or something like Jinta and Ururu. He did that. So I thought that was funny. I laughed at that part. So generally an 8 or a 7.5. Fan service.
Well, I think you can answer this for both of us.
Okay. Well, fan service, like we say, if you fanboy over 10, I'd have to say 10 or 9.5. What would you say?
Uh, well, 9.5 or 10 on the category. About it.
All right. Animation. How well was this chapter drawn?
Oh man, if Kubo would have drawn this chapter any better, we would have had like
Etching.
actual boobs, like the full nipple and everything. Like, I'm gonna give it an 8.
I'd have to give it an 8 too. If you go to DeviantArt, you'll find full nipple.
Just go to bleachmore.deviantart.com.
Yep. And predictability. How predictable is this chapter?
Well, we've been saying that the ops would have ended a couple chapters ago. This chapter wasn't really predictable for us.
Yeah.
It's about a 2.
Yeah. I'd have to give it about a 4. I mean, we sort of guessed that they were going to talk, but we didn't know how it was going to go, so a 4. Overall chapter rating.
A 4 out of 5. I enjoyed this chapter.
I'd have to say 4.5 out of 5. If there was more, you know what? It'd have been better.
Bet you that 0.5 is because of Misaki's breast.
No, the 4 is because of Misaki's breast. The 0.5 is for seeing Ichigo.
Oh.
No, I just like the whole chapter. But anything else to add?
No, I think we're done with our Bleach review.
Yeah, I think we're done. Like, subscribe, add to favorites. Appreciate all of it. Links are in the description. Follow us on Twitter and check us out on Facebook. And I'm gonna go. I am the Shinigami,
I'm the Quincy.
and I am signing off.
Adios, otakus.
Jana.